This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 36, verse 5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey. Verse 6. Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. 7. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power Yahweh, I have lifted up mine hand, surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Genesis, chapter 36, verse 5 through 7, is that I want to continue to talk about the situation that's going on, all right, in our homeland. And when I say our homeland, I'm talking about the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. And that consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans of today. That's our homeland. But you have heathens, okay, especially Esau, Edom, that have taken, all right, our homeland and proclaiming it that it's theirs. And that's why you have the fighting that's going on, all right, in our homeland. So this is leading me to a lesson because I think it's very important, all right? This gives us great opportunity, brothers, to really start hitting at these so-called Christians and these 1948ers. Because if these are the chosen people, why is there so much violence in that land? Shouldn't there be peace and harmony? Okay? If these are the chosen people, all right, where is King David? Where is the Lord? Okay, who is going to keep them protected? And so this is what lead me to this lesson because, hey, I'm going to go into Ezekiel chapter 39 because what you're seeing right now in the Middle East is only the beginning. It's going to lead into World War III, okay? And there's going to be a lot of death in that land, a lot of destruction because the chosen people are not in that land. You have heathens, all right? You have the 1948ers who are descendants of Esau, Edom, and you have the Arabs who are claiming to be Palestinians. And they're not the Palestinians, they're Arabs. They go back to Ishmael, okay? I believe the Palestinians, Palestine goes back to the Hamites. You know what? Let me look it up. All right, let me look that up because we here at Great Millstone, we prove all things. Palestinian origin derives from Philistia, right? The Philistines. So, yeah, they're not even the original Philistines. Go through Ham. Okay, they go through the descendants of Ham, so that cuts that. So you have these people are all confused, all right? They're telling lies, and so what you have is the wars. The wars are getting bigger and bigger. Now, what you see in front of your screen, I am not endorsing this image. I am not endorsing the greater Israel border. I'm not endorsing that. I just want to make a point out of this. Here it is. I found on social media, okay, on the Twitter feed, a Christianism, okay, so-called Christian, who's all for the greater Israel border, okay, and she brings out certain precepts. She brings out certain scriptures, okay. Now, once again, I am not endorsing this image. I am not endorsing these borders, okay, but she does bring out Genesis 15, 18 through 21. Which goes to show you that that's a future prophecy that's going to happen in these latter days. All right? So let me get it. Because, hey, you even got certain Christians that are all for the expansion of that statehood. Okay? Because they're going according to what the Bible is. And that's why a lot of you so-called Christians, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. All you, mainly our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans that claim to be Christians, you don't know what the hell is going on. You just go to church on Sunday, okay, and you either space out, you hear your pork chop eating pastor tell you some good things to hear to try to inspire you while you go through captivity, okay. If you don't know if you're in captivity, you are in captivity, but the point is you don't know what the hell is going on, all right, because you got certain, all right, Christians in America who are all for that statehood, and they want to expand it. All right, and this is a Magna supporter, by the way. Okay, yeah. If you highlight her, it says a Christian mom who hopes to encourage you to live a life of victory. MAGA. Jesus, sweet baby Jesus is Lord. And that's not his name. Followed by wonderful people, including Senator Ted Cruz. Right. So there you go, where she stands. Okay, but let's get into this because hey, this is another prophecy that has to be fulfilled, okay, which goes to show you those people in that land, all right, are claiming to be the chosen are not. They're imposters, all right, and this is great opportunity, brothers, okay, and the few sisters that are watching, hey man, this should really, these scriptures should be flowing through your mind like, hey man, those are not the chosen people. So let me read this. Genesis 15:18. In the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abram, right? And his name was Abram first. And when you go into the word Abram, all right, it's Abaram, exalted father, or father exalted, because Abba is father, okay, and Ram meaning exalted, okay, exalted father. So just get a little Hebrew in there. Saying unto thy seed, what seed? The seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Have I given this land from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. Right, so when King David and King Solomon were ruling, all right, we didn't even have our full land. We only had a portion, okay? Which goes to show you that even in the book of Genesis, certain prophecies weren't fulfilled, okay, yet, all right? Still haven't been fulfilled yet. Excuse me. 19. The Canaanites and the Kenizzites and the Condamonites. 20. And the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Rephaims. 21. And the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Girgashites and the Jebusites. Right. So wherever these nations were dwelling at, all right, we were going to take their lands and bring it into and give it into our possession, all right? And that's why you have on this image right here, the greater Israel border, because that's what they're claiming, that's where the border will be at. And once again, disclaimer, I'm not endorsing this image. I'm just trying to make a point here, okay? So you have all these future prophecies, but you notice one thing that's happening here, okay? You have heathens trying, all right, to establish these prophecies by their own will and not the will of the Lord, because the Lord said that I would do all these things, okay, when Yahushua returns. Okay, so now let's get into Ezekiel 39, because this is a future prophecy where the Lord is going to bring the nation of Israel from wherever they were scattered at into, all right, the promised land. And you heathens that are dwelling there, you 1948ers, okay, and you Arabs and the rest of you heathens that are in there, okay, you're going to get destroyed from off that land, okay? Because you're not supposed to be in there. And this is where we have to constantly, hey, this is a great opportunity, brother, sister, once again, all right? Especially the brothers that are teaching, to bring this out, man. We have the opportunity right now to start knocking these Christians over the head with these scriptures, because, hey, man, Ezekiel 39:1, all right, clearly says what's about to happen in these latter days. So right now, you're seeing the beginning stages of World War III, but the Lord's about to come, okay, when World War III gets fully hot. And this is what he's about to do. Therefore, thou son, so Ezekiel 39:1, therefore, thou son of man, prophesy against Gog, and say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Right, Gog, you look up that land in the ancient, it's talking about modern day Russia, okay? Because when you look up an ancient map of Gog and Magog, that's where the Russians are at today. And the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal is modern day Turkey, all right? And you clearly see that the Russians and Turkey are allies with each other. They're even doing security on the borders of Syria and Turkey. Like, they're doing security together. Like, come on. Like, America, you're through, all right? NATO is obsolete, okay? NATO's going to turn on America, all right? When I say obsolete, meaning for you, America, okay? Because NATO is not going to be with you. They're going to turn against you. And that's for another topic. 2, and I will turn thee back and leave but the sixth part of thee, and will cause thee to come up from the north parts, and will bring thee upon the mountains of Israel. 3, and I will smite thy bow out of the left hand, and I will cause thy arrows to fall out of thy right hand. Right, so the Lord's talking about destroying, okay, the Russians, all right, and their armies, okay, and their allies, because it says heathens in here too. 4, all right, thou shalt fall upon the mountains of Israel, thou and all thy bands, and the people that is with thee, right, and the people that is with thee, the other nations, I will give thee unto the ravenous birds of every sort, and to the beasts of the field to be devoured. Right, and that reminds me of Revelation chapter 19, when the Lord says to the fowls, all right, come together for the supper of the great power. So let me go again. So Revelation chapter 19, and I'll start at 13. And well, we'll start at 11. The coming of Yahushai. Okay? So this is what Ezekiel 39 is talking about. The coming of Yahushai. 11. And I saw heaven open, behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he judge, and make war. Right, the Lord's, all right, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. His name is Yahushai. A so-called black man and his angels are going to make war with the nations. Okay? This goes to show you that those people in that land are imposters. All right? They don't fit the bill. 12. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. 13. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High. 14. And the armies which were in heaven, talk about the angels, follow him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. Right, the angels in the chariots, so-called UFOs, okay, spaceships, with Yahushua and his, we call it the fathership, the big spaceship. You can read it in 2 Esdras chapter 13. Yeah, this is good. When the Lord comes, you people are going to tremble that walk the earth. Okay, you people are going to tremble. All right, you're going to be scared, man. Like I said, y'all clowns that walk the earth, you better have adult diapers on standby. Adult diapers on standby, because you will defecate and urinate on yourself. 15, when the Lord shows up, man, because he is angry, very angry, because this whole world is full of lies, okay? And his prophets are angry. We're angry. We see the lies, and we see the so-called Christians and the 1948ers, okay, constantly pushing out these lies, and it's very vexing in the spirit. But guess what? We constantly combat it by going to these scriptures, man. And this is why we love going into the scriptures, because it knocks your whole lies apart. It breaks it apart. 15, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the almighty power. Right, going according to Ezekiel 39. 16, and he hath on his vesture and his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. 17, and I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, fowls meaning birds, according to Ezekiel 39, in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourself together unto the supper of the great feast. Right, because the Lord is going to be doing so much killing in the Middle East, okay, that there's going to be so many bodies for the fowls to eat and for the animals to eat, like it says in Ezekiel 39, all right, and 4. Thou shalt fall upon the mountains of Israel, thou and all thy bands, and the people that is with thee. I will give thee unto ravenous birds of every sort, the fowls, and to the beasts of the field to be devoured. Devoured. And that's what's coming. That's a future prophecy. 18, that ye may eat the flesh of kings. So back to Revelation 19:18. That ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. Right. Your soldiers, your military might is going to be destroyed and left for the fowls of, okay, of earth. Okay, left for the birds. 19, and the animals and the beasts. And I saw the beasts and the king of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat up on the earth and against his army. Right, who's the beast? Okay, it's talking about NATO. All right. And they're going to make war with Yahweh Shai and his angels, and they're going to be destroyed, okay, because the judgment, all right, let me go back to Ezekiel 39, because this is the judgment, okay. Well, this one is talking about Magog and Gog, all right, but they'll be fighting against the Lord too, okay. So all y'all heathens, NATO, Magog, and Gog, once you've been, all right, killing each other, the Lord's going to intervene. Okay, and he's going to slaughter you all right, grand finale, all right, and he's not going to need to lift up no sword, okay, no weapons of instrument, because he's got the spaceship, the so-called UFO, all right, zapping you with laser beams, okay, for the fowls to eat you. So let's go back to Ezekiel 39 and 5. All right, I want to make that point, all right, because Ezekiel 39 is talking about Russia, all right, and the heathens, okay? But of course it says Gog, prophecy of Gog, and then of course what I read in Revelation, so it's talking about the beast, which is NATO. So basically the Lord has it covered that all you heathens, all right, you're going to all be taken out of power. 6, and I will send a fire on Magog and among them that dwell carelessly in the isles, and they shall know that I am the Lord. Right, that's a future prophecy. 7, so I will make my holy name known in the midst of my people Israel, and I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore. And the heathen shall know that I am the Lord, the Holy One in Israel. Right. When did this happen? When did this happen? Okay. This proves that what's going on in the Middle East, man, this is all leading up to the destruction. And then the Lord's going to get his people from wherever they're scattered at and place them in that land, which is going to say in Ezekiel 39. 8, behold, it is come and it is done, saith the Lord power. This is the day whereof I have spoken right. So this day is coming. This is what we're waiting on, the prophets. All right, and the true believers. 9, and they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth and shall set on fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows and the handstaff and the spears, and they shall burn them with fire 7 years. Right, this is a future prophecy. When did this happen? Okay, when did this happen? This is a future prophecy, which cuts that those are not the chosen people. It said that Israel, okay, and it's not going to be us, it's going to be you heathens, the ones that are left, all right, from the destruction. You're going to be the ones gathering up the weapons, okay, and the bodies, all right, continual employment. That's what it says it here, okay. You're going into slavery. 10, so that they shall take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any of the forest, for they shall burn the weapons with fire. And they shall spoil those that spoil them, and rob those that rob them, saith the Lord power. Right. This goes according to Isaiah chapter 14, verse 3. All right, let me get that. See, like, this is a perfect opportunity to get on these 1948ers and these Christians and vocab Malone, because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. All right, Isaiah 14, and I'll start at 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Right, these strangers are talking about Israelite foreigners, okay? All you got to do is go into that word strangers. It's gara, all right? Which means, well, let's get it real quickly. All right, all right, Ra. And foreigners and Israels, all right, there you go. Foreigners in Israel, those conceded rights, right? Because you had Israelites that were living outside of the Holy Land, okay? And then when they were to come in, they were known as strangers, okay? And some of them there were certain laws to give strangers land, okay? And those were the Israelites, not the heathens. That's the point. The strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob too. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. There you go, Ezekiel 39 and 10. So that they shall take no wood out of the field. So after the war is done, after the destruction, okay, no more fighting. Okay, this is pursuant to Isaiah chapter 2. Okay, let me get that. There'll be no more fighting. No one will lift up sword anymore. Right? Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1. The word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem too. And it shall come to pass in the last day that the mountains of the Lord's house, all right, shall be established, talking about the Israelites, in the top of the mountains, right? We'll be set up on high. We'll be the ruling government, okay, to rule over you heathens. All right, and that's the thing, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, who are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. Majority don't want this. That's a shame, but hey, that's part of the narrative. You don't want this. You don't want to rule over these heathens. You want to be a homeborn slave. You want to still serve this demon Esau. Okay. All right, well, the Lord's going to destroy you with Esau here in Babylon the Great. Those that are dwelling here in Babylon the Great, you 2/3. And thou shalt be exalted, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. 3. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob. And he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. Right, when is this happening? All right, you got all these other nations worshiping their own gods, okay? You got the Elam, they're so pissed off at their gods, they're just throwing their idols in the streets, all right? Running them over with bulldozers, okay? So it's like, when are all these nations flowing onto Jerusalem? Okay, this is a future prophecy. What goes to show these are not the chosen people that are dwelling in our land. Okay, they're imposters, they're heathens, they're Edomites. 4. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Hey, this is obviously talking about a future prophecy. Okay, so you so-called Christians and you 1948ers, you're speaking madness. You're telling lies. All right. The chosen people are not in their homeland yet. So let's go back to Ezekiel 39. Okay? Because what did the Lord say? Okay? Let's go to 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will give unto Gog a place there of graves in Israel. Right? Meaning you're going to be dead. Okay? Dead. The valley of the passengers the east of the sea. And it shall stop the noises of the passengers, and there shall they bury Gog and all his multitude, and they shall call it the valley of Hamongog. Okay? So yeah, buried. You're going to be, a lot of bodies about to be buried because of destruction. 12. And 7 months shall the house of Israel be burying of them, that they may cleanse the land. Right. So let's go to this map. Now, I'm not endorsing, all right, this border, but I'm making a point here. There's a lot of dead bodies in this land, okay? The nation of Israel will be established to rule. And part of the prophecies that we're waiting on is that, okay, those that are left, because it ain't going to be us picking up these bodies. It's going to be you heathens, All right, you're going to have to bury all these dead bodies that were put to death by the Lord, by the hands of the Lord. Okay, and from World War III. Okay, that's what we're waiting on. 12, in the 7 months shall the house of Israel be burying of them, that they may cleanse the land. 13, yea, all the people of the land shall bury them. There you go. All the people of the land shall bury them, and it shall be to them a renown the day that I shall be glorified, saith the Lord, power Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshua. Right, so this is a future prophecy coming, okay? So here it is. You got these maggots fighting over in a homeland, in our homeland, that's not theirs, okay? They claim to be the chosen, yet they got to, worry about rockets coming, Iron Dome. There's war still happening, okay? But the scriptures say otherwise. The scriptures say that there'll be no more war. No one will be lifting up weapons anymore. The Israel will be established where you heathens will be burying the bodies, okay, of the dead from the destruction from the Lord, okay? So here it is. The Bible is saying one thing, which is the truth, and you have the world saying another thing. Who is telling the truth, okay? That's why, man, we here at Great Millstone, and those that follow the doctrine of Great Millstone, okay, and teach the correct doctrine, we have the 100% truth through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua, because we go into the scriptures, all right? What the Bible is saying is not correlating what's going on in the world, all right? What's going on in the world is literally what you're seeing is the beginning stages of World War III, all right? That's what the Bible is speaking. That's what's correlating with the Bible. But when it comes to these chosen people, all right, these so-called supposed chosen people, which are the 1948ers, all right, being in that homeland, all right, they're not fulfilling the prophecies. They're not fulfilling the prophecies. And that's how you get a Christianism and a plantation and a 1948er, all right, hit them with the prophecies. 14, and they shall sever out men of continual employment, right? Yo, this is beautiful, right? There'll be a continual employment in the kingdom of heaven. All right, because, hey, man, there's got to be work to be done. After this great destruction, after the nukes fly and the Lord brings the judgment with the chariot, okay, there's got to be work, baby. And you heathens are going to be working for us, okay? You are going to be our slaves. You're going to serve us. You're going to be, okay, having continual employment. You will never fucking see every week, okay, what's the employment record? All right, what's the statistics on employment? Okay, what's the jobs report? You'll never see that because there'll be continued employment. You'll never see unemployment is high, okay, in the kingdom of heaven. You will never see that. Just throwing it out there. Passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth to cleanse it. Right, those that survive the destruction. After the end of the 7 months shall they search. 15, and the passengers that pass through the land, when any seeth the man's bone, then shall he set up a sign by it till the buriers have buried it in the valley of Hamagog. Right. So, hey, man, you're going to have people like running out, okay, in the Middle East, where the destruction's at, setting up markers like, here's a body, I found the body, okay, so that it can be buried. 16, and also the name of the city shall be Hamanah, thus shall they cleanse the land, right? Because you got to clean this land off these dead bodies. 17, and thou, son of man, thus saith the Lord power, speak unto every feathered fowl and to every beast of the field, assemble yourselves and come, gather yourselves on every side to my sacrifice that I do sacrifice for you, even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel, that ye may eat flesh and drink blood, right? So this is the Lord's sacrifice, all right, to you heathens, man. You're going to eat flesh and drink blood. You're going to eat flesh, man, and drink your own blood from the destruction. All right? Your insides are going to come out. 18, ye shall eat the flesh of the mighty and drink the blood of the princes of the earth. Ram, excuse me. You know, when you get put to death in a horrible way, you do choke up on your own blood. Okay? But this is talking about the birds, the fowls eating. Okay? That's what he's saying. The birds and the fowls are going to eat blood and flesh. Ye shall eat the flesh of mighty and drink the blood of princes of the earth, of rams, of lambs, and the goats, of bullocks, and of them fatlings of Bashan. 19. And ye shall eat fat till ye be full, and drink blood till ye be drunken of my sacrifice, which I have sacrificed for you. Right? So the birds ain't gonna be hungry. The birds are gonna be, all right, maybe a little bit overweight, okay, from all the eating of all the dead bodies. 20. Thus ye shall be filled at my table with horses and chariots, with mighty men, and with all men of war, saith the Lord power. 21. And I will set my glory among the heathen, and all the heathen shall see my judgment that I have executed, and my hand that I have laid upon them. Right? This is a future prophecy. Okay? 22. We have the truth, man. We have the truth. And what's going on in the Middle East is an opportunity to bring this out. 22. So the house of Israel shall know that I am the Lord their power from that day forward. 23. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they have trespassed against me. Therefore hid I my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword. Right? Because that's when you're going to know those are not the chosen people. They got destroyed. Okay? The 1948ers. Okay? Then you're going to know that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans, who are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, you're going to know that those are the chosen, okay? And as well as the Israelite foreigners that are scattered among the heathen, all right, that look like the heathen, you're going to know they were the chosen, okay? 24, according to their uncleanness and according to their transgressions have I done unto them, and hid my face from them. Right, the Lord did hide his face from us from a long time, but now he put the spirit of life back into us. All right, we're standing upon our feet. We're bringing out the scriptures. We're bringing out the truth. The Lord is not hiding himself anymore. He's supping with us now. Okay, that's why you see the way the world is going, because the prophecies are being fulfilled. We're a prophecy. Once we've awakened to who we are, the Lord's moving fast with the prophecy, getting you maggots into World War III, getting the fowls ready to eat you motherfuckers. Okay. Yeah, that's what's happening, man. We're awakened. We're alive now, okay? We got the spirit of breath, okay, of life in us from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Kaha Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. We at the end, man. Let's get it. 25. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power. Now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob. Now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob. So Jacob's in captivity now. See, you so-called Christians and you so-called 1948ers, you are liars. And the Lord's going to fuck y'all up, man. He's going to destroy a lot of you motherfuckers, man. And have mercy upon the whole house of Israel, and will be jealous for my holy name. 26. And after that they have borne their shame and all their trespasses, whereby they have trespassed against me, when they dwell safely in their land, and none made them afraid. You got right now 1948ers scared. It's the Hamas coming to get me. Hamas. Not that goes to show you they're not the chosen. Okay? With their high-pitched voice. Bitch-ass fucking 1948ers. All right? But with our people, okay, when we're placed in our homeland, we're going to dwell safely. And we're not going to be afraid. We're going to serve our power without fear. That's what we're waiting on. And this is a cut to plantation Christianity. This is a cut to that 1948 narrative. 27. When I brought them again from the people and gathered them out of their enemies' lands. So right now we're in captivity. We're waiting on the Lord. See, that's the part that you so-called Christians, vocab Malone, all right, 1948ers, all right, you're negating, you're omitting, you're not even, okay, bringing this out. When is the Lord going to gather his people from the enemy's land? When did this happen? He said he will do it. Sanctifying them in the sight of many nations. 28. Then shall they know that I am the Lord their power, which caused them to be led into captivity among the heathen. But I've gathered them onto their own land, and have left none of them any more there. There you go. This is a future prophet that's going to happen. 29. Neither will I hide my face any more from them, for I have poured out my spirit upon the house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Kaha Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. So, hey, man, Ezekiel 39 is perfect. I'm going to entitle that Ezekiel 39, okay, is a perfect opportunity to bring out on 1948ers. Because when did this happen, okay? It hasn't happened yet. It's going to happen. This is a future prophecy, okay? This correlates with Isaiah chapter 11, verse starting at 11, okay? This correlates with when the destruction, Yahushua comes, Revelation, Okay, chapter 19, what I brought out. Okay. This is the future product that's coming. So, this is a cut to you so-called Christians, to you so-called 1948ers, vocab. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Y'all liars, and the Lord's going to destroy you motherfuckers for being liars. And with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakak, Radash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who ruled well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep it door. Keep the faith. As you can see, man, we're getting close to the end. All right? The truth is out there. Let's keep going. Let's keep pushing. Keep fighting. Keep studying. Keep praying. Okay? Hang on. Let's go even harder. We're almost out of here. To the futures that are watching, keep studying. Keep praying. Shalom and abad the ball. Shalom.